I'm really excited to have in the Taylor Kitchen today my friend Cathy Cosenza. We're going to call her Catherine, Queen of Scones, from here on out because that's what she's going to make with us. We've been friends for almost 2 decades, I think. We've known each other a long time.
Yes.
Cathy does, and we'll talk about this, these traveling tea parties. Her heart is for this. She's got a great passion for that, and scones are her strength. These are her forte. She makes all kinds of scones. She always tells us about them. I can't believe you've never come and make scones in my kitchen before, but we're gonna do that today. So why don't we just get started?
Okay.
And we're just gonna talk, chat, bake.
Sounds good.
We've got some scones started. So what kind of scones are we making?
These are going to be red velvet scones for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and people love red velvet.
Oh yeah. Not too many people do not like red velvet cake.
No, for sure. So we've got flour measured out, and you're just going to go ahead and assemble the scone dough.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Without further ado, I tend to put my flour in my bowl and I whisk it.
Makes it nice and light.
It does. And then I just go ahead and add my sugar. And then we add our cocoa. So just the dry ingredients are going to be added at first. And so then we're going to take,
I'm the sous chef.
There we go.
Just put me to work. And here's the butter, grating the butter.
Yes, what I found is very easy and a best practice is to use another bowl than to have a little bit more control of how much butter you're putting there at one time. This handy little grater to grate the pieces of butter into smaller, more manageable pieces.
And it grates really easy when the butter's frozen.
Yes. And then I just kind of plop them in there. And I'm using kitchen gloves.
And also we're doing red food coloring, so
Yes.
you're not gonna have red hands at the end of this.
Exactly. Yes. Good point, because I did not use them when I was doing the test in my home, and it definitely has a nice red food coloring effect. Get in
So
there.
where did you have your first scone? This love of scones, where did it come from? Scones.
Yeah,
Scones.
scones, yes. They pronounce it scone, actually, is appropriate. You're correct. But in the United States, if you said scone, my French friends said
Nobody
this,
would know.
no one would know. So everyone kind of goes with the flow and pronounces it scone. I started out with tea first, going to tea parties. And I don't recall, writing over here, I was trying to remember the first time I actually had a scone. And I think it had to have been there was a beautiful tea house in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Cathy's from Pennsylvania.
Yes. Yeah. And we were living there at the time in the Harrisburg area, and we drove to Gettysburg, and there was a tea house called Civility.
Okay.
On on civil, for Civil War. Civility. And Pat was the owner's name, and the tea shop is no longer in business. I think someone got sick, and they had to close it down. And but it was a lovely place, and that's where I found my love for scones. And she sold a recipe book, and I bought that recipe book. And some of my favorite recipes to this day are from that book: maple scones, whole wheat scones, you name it. That she probably had 30 scone recipes.
Yeah.
So probably at least 30 years ago. And then from there, I go online, like for this particular recipe that we're using today. I'm going to use the spatula.
There you go.
Thank you. And for this particular recipe today, my girlfriend Kathleen, as you've met Kathleen, she sent me an article of, I think it's the Victorian Magazine, which we'll probably put the link.
Okay. Yeah, and Kathleen has a fabulous podcast called Reviving Your Dreams.
Definitely.
I was honored to be featured on that at one point, so check out the podcast.
Yes.
Very encouraging.
Revive Your Dreams. If you search for Revive Your Dreams,
Yes.
you will find it. And this is just a little pastry blender that I'm going to just take and use that again, just to make, because we want them pea-shaped, and because as you noticed, some of those kind of globs of shredded butter,
They were a wee bit bigger.
yeah. So by doing it this way, it does break them down a little bit more like the pea-shaped. And you might want to pick it, if you're not familiar with the pastry blender, pick it up a little bit and kind of go like that, and then do one more sweep, and then we should be good to go. The whipping cream.
Why is it pink?
Why is it pink? I bought special whipping cream. No. We put 2 teaspoons of red food coloring in there, and we use the gel. So this is a vanilla paste that we're using, and I love this. I'm not familiar.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, we're
I
using
turn
vanilla.
everybody on to vanilla
Yeah.
paste. It's just so viscous, and you can see all the little beans in it. It's very potent.
Love it, love it.
So I feel like you get more of a vanilla flavor.
We're just whisking that vanilla in to save a little bit of a mess, because the gel can be tricky getting out of the spoon. We went ahead and added that prior. So we're going to make a little well in the middle of our. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
good?
And if you could grab me a fork,
Sure.
please. And we're going to just put this in the well of that bowl with our powdered mixture. Try to get all of our good whipping cream out there.
So,
Kind of see there,
Yep.
see how it's kind of clumping. And because I've made this now several times, I'm getting better and better at it and learning what I'd like to do a little bit more than the first time I did it. So we're working that in. Got any other scone questions for me, Mary Ann?
So where do you believe scones originated from?
Well, I have a lot of British friends, and I thought for sure it had to have come from Britain because we always have scones and tea when we're together. We always talk about it. But so I had to look that up actually, and it's really interesting because a lot of my family roots on my father's maternal grandmother's side is from Scotland.
Okay.
And I thought I was all German and French, and come to find out I'm got a lot of
Scottish
Scottish.
too.
And so actually, yeah, the internet says probably originated in Scotland. The earliest print version of a scone being mentioned is 1513, and a Scottish man, poet, I'm not sure if it was a man or a woman, poet, mentioned a scone. So they made a particular thin cake that they made out of oats and whole wheat flour, and they fashioned it after that. But it wasn't as sweet. American scones,
They're much sweeter.
much more butter, much more sugar. But the Brits make up for it in the jams,
Oh, yes.
Devonshire
the
cream,
Devonshire cream.
the lemon curd. So now you can see how this is, and we're going to take, and we're going to freeze, put these in the freezer just for a little while to chill while we're making the cream cheese drizzle.
Right there, we've got it all. I'm going to put them in the freezer for a bit, and we're going to tidy up, and then we're going to make a drizzle.
There we go. There we go. The cream cheese drizzle. Let's go ahead and start to mix our cream cheese. Go ahead and add in our butter.
Can I help you there?
Thank you, sous chef.
Oh,
There we go. Much better. Much easier. A little bit more. Just keep adding in like that.
Is it looking good?
Yep. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, because you do want it to be a drizzle.
Then, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So nice.
Nice consistency. So then it's time to get our dough out of the freezer.
So I'm just putting a little flour on here, light flour.
Okay.
So it doesn't stick because it's a sticky dough. So I'm going to press this down to about 1/2 inch.
Make a nice thick scones. Yeah, that's the way scones have to be.
Yeah, because it's going to rise a little bit. So we've got that. And I think we're going to use the crimp. I had 2 heart cookie cutters, this one and this one, but this one has a cute crimp to it, so we're going to just press that down, nice, and then we're going to take away. You can see it kind of came very easily away, and then just gently press for it to come out of the top of the heart a little better.
So cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
So we're going to put that on our baking sheet.
All right. So how long have you been making scones?
Well, probably 30 years.
Okay.
30, maybe 35.
Those are so adorable. They're going to go into the 350 oven for 25 minutes?
Yes.
25 minutes. So you were kind enough to bring some that you had already made. We're still waiting on our batch to bake.
Yes.
But these are ready. They're so adorable. And she brought these super cute little tea plates and all this delicate finery.
So I'm going to have Marianne be the drizzler. She's the expert when it comes to the drizzle with the bag, and it's going to be much prettier.
We shall see, dear friend.
There we go.
I'm gonna cut off a tiny bit. This is in a piping bag. Woo! All right, let me see if I can be a little artsy.
Oh, I love it.
How's that?
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Okay, very nice.
And then I said to Marianne, we could, if you wanted to, it is Valentine's Day, so you could add a little sprinkle, just a little sprinkle. Oh, that's really pretty.
That is pretty. It just shows off against the white.
So another way that you could decorate your scone, if you don't want to use the cream cheese, is this is mock Devonshire cream, which is basically a half a cup of whipping cream, whipped, added to 2 tablespoons of sugar after it's whipped, then fold in a half a cup of sour cream. And I tinted it, so just put a little dollop of
Pretty
that.
and pink.
Yep, pretty and pink.
That's
with a twist. And then you can take real pretty salt and pepper shakers, and I put cinnamon in this. So, and just add a little sprinkle.
That's
of
adorable. That's adorable.
And the other way that you can do it, even for less sugar, but a little bit of sweet hint, and this also, it's a no-fail.
Yeah.
Always.
And I love that because then the little cracks and crevices show up.
Yes, I love that too.
Very nice.
Beautiful. So there you've got 3 different ways that you could do for presentation purposes.
Very cute.
And then it's always wonderful if you serve it with berries, fresh berries, tea sandwiches, or just a simple scone and tea with a friend.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab these pot holders.
Oh, they look gorgeous. They smell even better. Oh, wow.
And to really make them taste even better, you must wear a pair of gloves.
Yes.
When you take one of the others.
These are our high tea scones.
Yes. There we go. Red velvet scones.
Delicious.
Waiting for their drizzle.
Oh.